shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live Stream. We hope all y'all had a great week. How was your week, CW?
Oh, I'm telling you, they are just flying by. Good week. Really good week. Aside from the awful, stinking hot weather, good week. We were double digits, triple digits. Monday afternoon, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. It was rough. And I tell you, I could really feel it. So I did a lot of inside stuff. Didn't do a lot outside at all. But today, started the day at 58 degrees. And it didn't get past 74. So today was a nice day.
That's like December weather here.
It had a very, very fall feel. Really fall feel to the day. A little bit early for that, for the first day in August, but it was a nice break from all that heat. Bama, how was you down there? How was it down there in Alabama?
It was hot. That's about it. Hot, and we're not getting enough rain to do anything. So it's just a nasty day. The dog days of summer.
It ain't dog days yet, brother. Wait till August. Well, August is here now.
I was about to say,
We are here.
My calendar says it's August.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's still the first.
We turned that page last night, this morning. Yep. You get anything done last week? Anything exciting? When's the next video coming out? I want to hear about that 300 PRC.
It's just kind of sitting on hold while I'm trying to make room in my man cave to lay it out on the bench and work on it. I got to get the drill press off. I've got a 1947 Craftsman drill press I'm restoring, and once I get it out of the way, then I'm gonna build a rifle.
Good deal.
I got everything. I got the scope. I've got the rifle. The only thing I hadn't got, Jamie said don't buy a bipod, so I'm not gonna buy a bipod. I haven't got anything to rest it on. So
Sandbags.
that may be what I end up getting.
Cut off jeans. Make yourself some shorts.
I just don't. I don't like the way bipods do. I want a shooting rest when I'm shooting.
Yep.
Well, the bipods that get all the acclaim, I'm not paying $400 and $500 for a bipod.
No, if you're going to pay that, you might as well put that into a shooting rest.
Yeah, the average guy doesn't need to spend that kind of money. That's for a competitor, you know. That's not something you're just going to use. You know, if you want to invest in something bipod wise, get a stand up, like a a
Bog
stand up
pod or
tripod,
something.
bog pod, something like that. You spend a little money there, but not attached to the gun. Not for the regular guy, I don't think. You're just not going to get your money out of it.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm not going into a profession that I need that.
I got a couple, 2-3 cheapy ones. I got one I got from CV Life that I like. They go on. I got a couple that go with M-Lock, and I use them. But I tell you, I like a good rifle rest better for the bench. And one that I do use that attaches to the gun, I use for varmint hunting and turkey hunting and stuff like that. It's a long-legged one, so you can sit up, and then the rifle's level. So it's got really long legs. But you don't carry that around in the gun. You keep that in your pack and you put it on. You're sitting down. It's too big. And that's only just for hunting when I'm sitting against the tree, which isn't all the time. Mostly varmint. You know, woodchucks in the summertime or coyotes in the winter type of thing. But yeah, I agree with Jamie. Don't spend your money there. You can always pick something up down the road, but sandbags will work you fine. Sandbags will do you fine.
I got that Caldwell shooting rest called the Rock,
Yep, works good. That's a good one.
and I got it up there, and CW's got the exact same thing, only older.
Yep. Yep. Mine's an old time original one.
It's probably before they started calling it. Anyway, we're off on a topic, and we haven't even greeted all of our panel members. Six, how was your week?
It was a pretty good week. Got a lot of brass cleaned this week. Got some prime too. It's been warm here. It's already 7 o'clock and it's still 90 degrees. So I got my air compressor running. I know I put out a video Sunday. I got a part 2 coming this Sunday and then part 3 following Sunday. So, but it is running. So,
Good deal.
along with what I've done with it.
I saw that first one. I'm like, what came loose in there?
You have to watch the video and
Yeah,
find out. So that's it for me.
good deal, man. Welcome. Rebel, how was your week?
Hot. I've been walking around the man cave with a 20 gauge mech reloader I acquired, going, where do I put this? Where do I put this? And for Jamie and CW who've seen the man cave, they know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to remove something to put something. So when I ain't got but 7, 8, 9 presses lined across there, and I'm just gonna have to move something. And
Inline precision mount, and you can put the plates on it. You move things around.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I acquired a 20 gauge 1100 a few weeks back, and I'm looking forward to shooting some doves on opening day with that, and not beating the snot out of myself. I ain't as young as I used to be, so
None of us are.
yeah. But
What about that bullet mold that we were cleaning up? You get that thing going yet?
I haven't done anything with that. You said I needed new. You
Handles?
said I needed new handles, and that's something I'm gonna have to acquire and then see how it closes up and works. So, like I say, one project at a time. You know.
If there's one thing that aggravates me, it's the price of mold handles. And it's just something.
Well, I didn't know what I've never cast a bullets, and I didn't know what was wrong, so I handed them to CW. What's wrong with these things? Because they didn't close all the way up. You know, they were a little open up front and closed on the back, and he diagnosed the problem pretty daggum quick, and I got a Lee bullet mold with Lee handles, which will probably work, but I'd like to replace them with the Lyman molds with Lyman handles. We'll just see. We'll see what I come up with.
You know me well enough to know I rarely sing the praises of Lee. I do use them, and there's things that they make I really like, and one of those things is the mold handles. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just fine. You will break them, but you're not paying the Lyman price for the Lyman. And they're going to last. They're going to work. They work with single cavity, 2 cavity Lyman molds just as good as any Lyman handle. And
if they
they're half the price.
If they happen to be too fat to fit in the slot, you just take a grinder to them suckers.
Yeah,
I mean,
Or a file. Sometimes it's only a little.
When I started, they were like $12. Now they're what, nearly 30?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But they're still less than half. They're about a third of the price of a Lyman handle.
right.
Yeah, look at Seiko handles.
Yeah.
yeah, that's stupid.
Well, you know what the problem with those are. That's ready instead of. I mean,
Yeah.
so
And you look at them; they're identical. They're identical to the new Lymans. So I wouldn't be at all surprised they're made the same.
probably.
You know, the difference is the thickness and the position of the holes that hold the molds.
Somebody
Other
was
than that, the handles, the hinge, everything else is the same casting.
somebody was griping about the Redding dies going up and the Dillon dies going up, and I said, well, you know who makes Dillon dies, don't you? Redding.
Far out.
You know when I bought?
Oh yeah.
When I bought my When I bought my XL 750, you couldn't get Dillon dyes and carbide. They, it was a period of time, nearly a year went by. You couldn't buy Dillon carbide, and they recommended Redding.
Now we
So
know.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Zink, how was your week, my brother?
The week was pretty good. Started out with, at the end of last week, I got 1,000 rounds of 357 brass for $50. And they were all sized and primed, heat primed. About a third of them, maybe a little more, are trimmed. And the ones that I did trim have been annealed and back into storage. And for those that didn't catch them, any NOE molds is going out of business.
Yes, I've got a mold from them on the way.
Me too. And it's 30% off. So if there's something there you're looking for.
You
I
know,
found one mold. I actually spoke to him on the phone. Says, you know me, I want a steel mold, and you don't have many. He says, well, I think you were looking for a 223 mold. He says, in steel. I said, I got 2 left. I found them. I bought one of those cavity.
I can't believe they're going out of business.
He's done. He's retiring.
Well, he's retiring.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he's had a lot of problems with staffing and getting good employees, and I guess like a lot of the people in women, they don't have kids that want to continue it, or somebody wants to buy it. So what can you do? We don't live forever.
Let's all just move to Utah and we'll take it over.
Now, who is that that's going out of business?
NOE, Night
NOE.
let me see.
Owl Enterprises.
All right. You done, Andy?
That's about it.
That sounds like a productive week. You and Ricky have been working on brass and been working on everything, but
I'm always working on either brass or casting.
yeah, I haven't had a casting day in so long. It's embarrassing. Mr. Kyle, how was your week, brother?
Hot. I didn't think it'd be that hot working inside in the air conditioning, but when you're standing between a pizza bar, a hot bar, and there's fryers and 2 600-degree pizza ovens behind you, it gets a little warm.
Yeah, buddy. That kind of cancels out them BTUs coming from the AC, don't it?
Yeah. It's different. You know, you can walk 5 feet the other way and you're comfortable. But you know, it's that time of the year. Everything's going good. I wish it would rain. It's trying to, but it just won't do it. And sure enough, if I just turn on my sprinklers, and it'll come a frog strangler. So I just don't want to have to pay for that water. Other than that, everything's going good. Got to work tomorrow, so back up at it 4 o'clock in the morning, and here we go again. That's it for me.
All right, I'm working on something here. How come Chad didn't get a link?
I don't know. Talk to that guy who does this administrative stuff here.
Yeah.
He's a
One of my
jackass,
problems is I have this preset mailing list set up for y'all every Friday night. And apparently yahoo.com decides it's going to edit my list at its free will.
I got one to both my addresses tonight.
But you don't have both of your addresses in that.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, it's funny, but it ain't.
Maybe that's where Chad's went.
Yeah. And
check your email. See
you
that?
know, we've got a lot of people on that list, and I probably should go edit it, but there's a lot of people that's going to get a link every week, whether they want to come on or not. Just out of, and Chad there, because I kind of fit the mold.
CW got my link.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking. Look at that slim feller down there.
Yeah, look at it, trimming up here.
That's it.
yeah, man, it's embarrassing me. How was your week?
It was good. It was hot out, but man, that rain come in there this morning and cooled it off, and today has been fabulous. I've worked outside all day today, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Nice.
What part of Kentucky are you? General, Central, Northwest, Northeast?
Far east as you can go. I'm 20 minutes from Virginia and 20 minutes from West Virginia.
Jade,
Okay.
Jamie, can't you tell by that accent? My Lord, it sounds
What?
just.
He sounds
just
like
my-
me and you.
No, he sounds just like
politics.
my wife. And she's from West Virginia.
He sounds like us to me anyway.
I was right near you then 2018, 2019. I was down on them ATV trails there, right at the corner of Kentucky. I stood on a hill and I could see
Hatfield,
Kentucky.
Hatfield,
Hatfield
McCoy.
McCoy.
I could
Yep.
see Kentucky, Virginia. And I was in West Virginia.
There's one of my favorite people, Mr. Reloader 762. Hope you're
Yep.
doing well, my brother.
I ain't heard enough of him. He's been scarce. Hope he's been all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They send North Carolinian rednecks up to Hatfield McCoys to get beat up or killed, because it seems like all of them come back with their hot rod four wheelers side by sides destroyed and mangled up, broke up.
Well, if you've seen some of them trails,
But you got to know the variety of redneck around here. They're gonna
it's not. They're not that they're that rough. There's places that are rough, but they're only about 3/4 the width of the ATV, and some of them people come around the corners doing 40 or 50.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. There's more. I really ain't.
I know a couple that went right off one of them trails, and about the fifth bounce, they said that ATV hit about 10 foot high, and it's lucky the man only walked away with a punctured lung, and the girl walked away with a broke arm. About a 500-foot flip down.
See, we got on a shooting topic. We got on a casting topic.
ATV topic.
And well, we don't, that's almost like politics. That's obscene unless it's related to deer hunting. We lost somebody.
Speaking, I got a new blind.
Dad, he'll be back. Do what, Chad?
I said, speaking of deer hunting, I got a new blind today.
What'd you get?
I done forgot the name of it, but I got a taller one, so when my back and stuff starts hurting, I can actually stand up straight.
Stand
in
up.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the way I built mine, Chad.
Figured you just get a taller one for the recoil of that black powder gun.
Dang it, Boo. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you changed that last name anyway.
That's John. Boy, he's a.
All right, are we ready to get into our topic? Do we have time to call out the side chat? Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, I think we do. At least get it out there and get people warmed up as to what they're doing.
We can get it started. Last time we talked a little bit about the beginnings of the evolution of the revolver, and tonight, and we dealt more with with Colt than we did with Smith and Wesson, and Smith and Wesson's one of my favorite companies. So I want to get into that a little bit. This actually came from Smith and Wesson's YouTube channel, and I'll post a link to that in a minute or two. So from this historian says, this is a Smith and Wesson historian, and I wish I knew his name, but I forgot it. So from 1856 to 1859, Smith and Wesson went from a 2-person startup to a second-story rented shop in Springfield to building their own 3-story purpose-built factory and becoming one of the largest gun manufacturers in the United States of America. They were just in the right place, the right time, the right people, the right gun, and the right business ethics and business climate. So Horace Smith was the product guy. His father worked at the government armory, and Horace followed in his dad's footsteps. He knew guns. He knew quality. He was, we'll get into it. There's a lot of innovation in guns and gun production going on at this time around the 1850s. And Smith found himself doing a lot of contract work for not only the armories, but for individual companies as well. Switch to Daniel Wesson. His father was a farmer in Massachusetts, and one of his younger siblings. Apparently, he had a bunch of brothers and sisters. His older brother Edwin began the Wesson family gun making dynasty. He was very picky, very detail oriented, and he started making his own rifles. His rifles were very well and heavily made. They weren't cheap, but they were very accurate. Daniel watched all this from a young age and was mechanically minded and got involved with his brother's business. But Edwin died very young in 1849 in his early 40s, and we're not sure what happened to Edwin, what he died of. Could have been heart attack, whatever. So Daniel and Edwin, his older brother, probably had very different temperaments. So Edwin was a studious perfectionist and had to make only the very best guns, but Daniel probably had different interests. But Daniel was very interested in gun making. But at the time of Edwin's death, he probably wasn't ready to go out on his own. He didn't have enough age and experience. So during this time, there were many gun companies, and Daniel got involved with several partnerships and wound up at the Robinson Lawrence Armory in Vermont, where it is believed that he met Horace Smith for the first time. They met and had complementary talents. Our historian believes Horace Smith was more into the production, nuts and bolts, research and development, and while Daniel Smith was more into the business side of things. Smith was very interested in precision lever action rifles like his brother was making, and working together, Smith and Wesson developed a lever action pistol called the Volcanic pistol, and they had a company called I think it was the Volcanic Firearms Company or something like that. So this company led up to Smith and Wesson incorporating their business. And I've got different dates here. Y'all correct me and tell me. My first note said that it was incorporated. Smith & Wesson was incorporated in 1854. And later, the same guy says it was in 1856. Anyway, what they did very well was read the market. In other words, they could figure out what people wanted to buy. And that's the cornerstone of any business, is making products hopefully that you enjoy making, and that hopefully people are going to buy them. But by 1854, America was an established country. We had some fairly large cities by then, and they're growing rapidly, but they are very dangerous places. Cities like New York, Boston, Philadelphia were not places you wanted to wander around in, even during the day, but especially at night. So rifles had their need, and they were profitable to make and to sell, especially in the military contracts. And they understood the market. Like today, people wanted a small, compact, concealable firearm, and police departments were just beginning to be formed. They were this is how he put it: municipal policing was in its infancy. So all this together is why Smith & Wesson was and is primarily a handgun company, only sparsely dabbling into the rifle market. Well, all that's changed since the last few years. So they focused on urban buyers. And this is the beginning of the modern Smith & Wesson company, starting in 1856. And their first pistol was a small 22 caliber black powder rimfire 7-shot revolver. Hey, Mark Thomas.
Hello.
Y'all want to see the film clip I got for you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Heck yeah.
Let me see if I can figure this out.
We have faith in you.
Bear with me for a minute. Okay.
I think they had a very good sense of that, whether it was something that they consciously developed or whether it was just an intuition. And my guess is that that's why they leaned in that direction. And certainly when we look at Smith & Wesson over the first 50 or 60 years of the company's existence, they only dabbled in rifles very, very sporadically. They were really a handgun company. That was their bread and butter. And that's my interpretation of why they did that. I think they were responding to strong and growing consumer demand for compact, concealable firearms that would appeal to urban buyers. This is really where we see the birth of the modern Smith & Wesson company, which was incorporated in November of 1856. So they built a very small pistol. It was a 7-shot revolver that was chambered in this 22 black powder rimfire cartridge. It was very concealable. You could easily put it in a pocket. So they brought the metallic cartridge and they brought the revolver together, and they had their eureka moment. They made a prototype. It probably worked. And that was actually this exact gun. This is the 5th Smith & Wesson, what became known as the Model 1 revolver, ever made. It's the earliest surviving Smith & Wesson in existence. And this is one of these handmade prototypes that Horace Smith and Daniel Wesson made to prove that this design could work.
I like the way you said it probably worked.
I like that. It probably worked. Yeah, probably. But yeah, if y'all saw that film clip, when you saw that gun, it reminds me of what we were talking about. The little thing reminded me of one of those North American Arms revolvers. So, and we got that all in time to call out the side chat. So, since
there any doubt as to what we're going to type in?
Smith & Wesson.
S&W.
S&W. And CW Longshot was in first. He's on the panel in the side chat. So
I'm
it's
away from my phone, so I'm just going to say it. S&W.
Mike the Rebel Hester is also on the panel. Scott Davis is out there. Andy 79Z28 is on the panel as well. And he has this beautiful Smith & Wesson behind him right there.
That is sexy.
Bama Dad is on the panel, and in the side chat, Walks Fletcher is out there. Bobby Barlow, Dale Pogue, GGW Outdoors, go Dogs. 30 days. 30 days. G23's out there. Rollis Carvelis. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies is on the panel as well. Ron 2A Matters. Andre D'Angelo. Boomstick's out there. Edward Petty is out there. Dwayne 7834. Mark Thomas is on the panel and in the side chat. There is Garage Guy 879. Hey, Miss Kitty. Daniel God is my judge is out there. Reloader 762. We're just glad you're here, Miss Kitty. Good to see Reloader 762 out there. And I think we're up to date. No, there's Mark Thomas, but I already called his name. Alaska 1 Andy is out there. Oh, one guy. How far behind am I? Ricky Baird is out there, my brother in Connecticut. MC's listening while working. Service Venator, I missed him. How can I miss Service Venator?
He had a good video this week too.
Because I can't read, that's why. Good to have you out there, my brother. Let's see. I'm way behind.
But are you
I'm
willing
so
to make
far behind, I think I'm in the lead. Anyway, welcome, guys. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate all of y'all. Okay, anybody else got anything about Smith & Wesson?
I own several of them. I love them.
I saw a real nice 3-29, 14, and 58, I think 57 or 58. I didn't pick it up today. All no dashes. Real nice guns. All with 4-digit serial number, 4-digit price tag.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those I think it was really cool to see the 5th one of those ever made. And one thing I will point out, do what?
I said, say hello, Fuzzy.
Is Fuzzy out there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Buzz. Yeah, you can't. There's not enough no dash 629s or 29s in the world.
I guess I need to start shopping for me a Smith & Wesson because I got the EAA Windicator and the Ruger GP100, and that's it.
There ain't nothing wrong with either one of those. I used to have the Windicator with a 4-inch barrel.
Yep.
That thing shot really well. Really well. Better than me. But yeah, those older Smith & Wessons are classics.
Oh, they had a 53 too. Anybody know what a 53 is?
No. But I've got
I know Rebel does. Nobody else knows what it is?
I've got the book. I can look it up if I have to.
I know what it is.
Well, go for it.
22 Jet.
Ugh.
It came
The
with a
heck is that?
22 long rifle cylinder. Pretty cool. Pretty cool revolver.
Walks new.
What is a 22 Jet?
It's a rare beast.
Never even heard
It's
of it.
It's a 357 case.
a 22 Jet looks like a old 16-ounce Coke bottle with a bullet in the end of it.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
It's a good analogy. I've got one of the
Kyle,
cartridges.
it starts to taper right after the web. So it's got maybe not even 1/8 of an inch straight, and then all taper all the way up to 22 caliber.
Yeah, it's sexy looking.
Looks like a dunce cap.
Service Venator, I can't recommend a Smith & Wesson revolver enough. Preferably an older one.
Like a 19. The best revolver ever freaking made.
Even a Model 10 4-inch, if you can get one before like a -6 while they still got the pinned heavy barrels in them. Now, the very first ones were those pencil barrels, weren't they? Or is that the police? That's police model.
I think so.
They made so many of them that it's like going to a ball game. Get your program here. You can't tell one without another from another program. That's
Get
why.
Get your L frame, get your K frame.
Yeah. That's why I'm so proud to have that book that Scotsman sent me.
I've got that Model 10 I bought myself, 3 years ago now. Love that thing. And the only other Smith & Wesson revolver I got from my uncle. It's one of the old hand ejectors, what they call the I-frame. Smith & Wesson. That's a fun one to shoot.
Yep.
You can spend a lot of money on a Smith in a hurry. Yeah, I've got a 586 and a 686. Those are L frames. I like them walks, but the N frames are very nice. Very, very nice. Man alive. See, that's the thing. You buy something like that, as cool as it is, you still got to be able to get brass somewhere or figure out how to make it, right?
Speaking of brass, Jamie, I was looking for something else, and this is always the way it happens. I was looking for something totally unrelated to firearms in the house. It was actually a tennis elbow brace. I was looking for that, and I found about 300 rounds of 38 special brass. I'm like, huh?
That's good for you.
Might need to load some of these up.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you're not gonna find as far as brass. That's 22 rim jet.
Yet another one I haven't heard of.
Well, like I say, I like taking that cartridge to work and just sitting there going, "Okay, Einstein, tell me what this is." And they'll look at it and go, "I don't know." I can make up all kind of stuff. They gave that to the chimpanzee that they sent up to space in a single shot, just in case he saw Martians. Oh, really? What's it called? 22 rim jet. Google it. Just Google it. You know, I'd make up all kind of stuff on the fly. I like messing with people.
Speaking of messing with people, have any of y'all heard that they're doing away with the daylight savings time thing?
Yeah, they've threatened that for years.
I haven't heard that confirmed yet.
Well, I saw something. I can't tell if it's AI or not, but it was Marco Rubio on the Senate floor pretty much applauding everybody for finally coming together and passing the bill to do away with it.
That sounds kind of like
Is it
AI.
is it just me, or is AI not seeing too much I? You know, just a lot of A and not a lot of I right now. I know it's in its infancy and everything, but
I'm about tired of it.
I am too. Google keeps asking me if I want an AI overview of the whole thing. I asked about some cartridge, and it was a huge, like, African cartridge, and it said it was great for dove and, you know,
For Dove?
yeah, dove and wrens. You know, who knows? But it was stupid.
I'm going wren hunting with my 460.
Yeah. I was like, apparently AI doesn't know about reloading or cartridges or anything.
I was talking with my wife about that daylight savings time thing, and she goes, I haven't heard that. I'm like, well, I'll probably never be able to find the video again. But he was on the Senate floor applauding him for passing this bill. And she's like, yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. I'm like, well, okay. Well, maybe it's a little bit.
Well, it could have been Colonel Sanders. You know, they could have interjected his picture on it. And he's been dead, what, 30 years, 40 years? Still makes a hell of a bucket of chicken, though.
Yeah. All them herbs and spices.
Mm-hmm.
Edward Petty put us a link up there.
From down here in Kentucky.
Walk says there's no more daylight savings time. Okay, so somebody else has heard that too. All right.
There's Lever Guns 50. What's going on, buddy? We're talking about Smith & Wesson revolvers. How you doing? Still in the Philippines, I reckon?
Yeah, Fuzz, they need to do away with property taxes everywhere.
They got a bill on the floor now in Texas trying to get rid of it.
I mean, there's no sense in it. We had roads and everything else before.
Rubio wants daylight savings time 365 days of the year.
I don't care what time y'all want. Just pick one. Stick with it.
Yeah. That's right.
That's me. I don't know which one it is.
Just shift it a half hour and be done.
People tend to want daylight savings time all year in the middle of summer, and they don't realize what it'll do to them in the wintertime, because
Right.
the youngins going to be waiting for the bus in the dark.
Or
And I don't
getting
know
off the
about-
bus in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know about where y'all are from, but that's when them Appalachian Sasquatches hunt and they grab kids, you know, so you don't want that.
That's a big amen right there.
I mean, I'm sitting here making fun. But last week we had a family in Arkansas, two girls that lost two parents over nothing, walking the trail, having a happy family day. And
That was a teacher,
mean-
they said, right?
yeah, he was a teacher. Weird looking dude. They arrested him today or yesterday or whatever, but I'm getting off subject. But I tell you, if you got a concealed carry permit, don't take it lightly. If you feel the need to pull that gun, use it. It's not a good threat. It's a good way to stay alive.
G23 sent me pictures of a beautiful, beautiful Arasaka Type 99. It took him 3 months to decide to buy that road. I'm like, why?
Must have been an early one.
It's 7.6, I think. 7.6 Jap, whatever that.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's an early one because those Japanese rifles, I think, are about the worst. Well, as the war went on, they got a lot
Yeah,
worse.
they're actually a very super strong.
They're actually
action.
one of the strongest actions there is.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, very strong action.
But as the war was ending, they got
Yeah,
to cranking them out too quick.
They were using
Well, they
pot
don't grow
pot
big
metal.
trees there. There hasn't been one that had a folding stock. They're all pieced.
Bless you, Andy.
Hank.
7.7 Jap. That's it. 6.5 in the 7.7. I just hope it's early in the war. Good.
I know. I had a friend passed away now that was on Guadalcanal. He knows what those sound like coming at him in there. They ain't pretty.
So check this out. Fuzzy Fort 8 says the old 30-06 is still the best hunting rifle. Just ask Walks. Fuzz, the 270 is the finest cartridge in the history of the world. Buzz got it.
It is kind of weird, all this talk about Smith & Wesson, and there's no Scotsman.
Yeah. Well, he's working now. He's working second shift. I don't know if all y'all know that, but he got changed from.
He was working third, wasn't he?
All right. Check this out. Pay no attention to the rest of it. 5 shots into a 1 1/4 inch group at 25 yards. How many of you guys shoot your handguns at 25 yards?
I do 50. Bullseye slow fire is 50 yards.
That's what I'm talking about. So, Kentucky, which one of those revolvers do you have that you like? Of those two you have, do you like the best?
I mean, I love the GP100, but the Windicator is more practical as far as a carry gun, the size wise.
It is.
Yeah.
My
GP100 is a tank.
My problem with revolvers has always been they don't feel good in the hand. They just don't feel right to me.
Oh,
No.
man. I'm just the opposite. I grew up with one of those in my hand, and the only semi-auto that feels halfway decent in my hand is a 1911. All the others, except for that one.
That one you got feels real good, Jamie.
Yeah, it feels good, and the CZ75 feels good, but it's very 1911 too.
It's very brown and high power.
CZs are very, very ergonomic. They're like
Yeah,
they're super, super ergonomic.
yeah, they're really nice. Yeah. So if y'all, yeah, Walt said when he was strong and had good eyes. I know that. I can't shoot that anymore. I can't shoot well at 25 yards anymore. Walks.
I definitely can't. Not open sight.
Right. Yeah.
I still like taking one of my 1911s and shooting clays at 100 yards at the range.
Yeah, some disciplines of bullseye are 50-yard slow fire, offhand, one-handed, unsupported, one-handed, and then most of the rest of it is 25 yards outdoors, all one-handed, unsupported.
That's tough, man.
I actually got asked to leave a range that I was a member of after one of the range officers gave us the clay pigeons to put out there on the berm, and then I decided to start shooting at them with a 1911 on the 100-yard range, and this guy loses his mind. There's no pistols allowed on the rifle range. I'm like, well, you're just jealous because you can't hit it that far. That's it. You're out of here.
Wow. I've never,
doing
I
your
don't think
doing
I've ever
your
been to a
best.
range like that.
Doing your
I've seen no rifles on a pistol range, but never ever no pistols on a rifle range.
Right,
Kyle,
right.
you got to summon your inner Chris Farley when you're doing that range officer guy. You know, I can see Chris Farley just.
And one of my statements to him was, then how come they're shooting 300 blackouts and 223s on the pistol range?
Oh, I had a guy on just beside himself going through that. No rifles on the pistol range. I said, okay, I'll shoot the 300 black. That's a rifle. No, it's not. It's a pistol round. It's a rifle round. I said, look it up and learn.
Right, it's a pistol round.
Pistol round. Designed as a pistol. Eight and a half barrel, I think. It's a pistol round.
Yep.
Sure, there's more rifles made in it. I'll give you that. It's more common that way. I'll give you that. But
it was so funny when we were doing that 300 blackout thing and showed up to the range to meet Jamie. And Jamie said, I thought you were bringing the 300 blackout. I said, it's in the bag. He goes, you got a 300 blackout in that bag? I said, yeah.
Well, I always looked at you all talking about pistol, and Walt's a whole lot better pistol shot than I am. I always looked at a pistol as a tool that I need to say. Well, no, I just why Ed Bailey? Are we cross? I just don't think I could bear it if we weren't friends anymore. You know, that distance. That's.
No,
you
that's what the Army teaches. A good use for a handgun is to get you a rifle.
Exactly.
I could have swore I saw Ms. Hotshot out there. Good to see AR Patriot out there. We got somebody in the back. Oh, you let him in?
I let myself in, brother.
Oh, good deal. There you are.
I picked that lock.
I didn't even hear screen door squeak.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Sorry I'm late.
Oh, hell, we're used to it by now, Mike.
I know it's. Yeah, I still got another hour of daylight outside.
You ain't sorry you got on here still chewing your food. You just got done eating.
I'm not even done eating, bro. I just sat down to eat. No, I just heard that blasphemy about the revolvers that you speak in there, Chad, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
What about they don't feel good in his hand?
Yeah.
That made my heart hurt a little bit.
No,
Yeah, I agree with you, Mark.
The two that I have feel wonderful in my hand.
You own a single action yet?
Just a Rough Rider.
No, it's still a plow handle.
I've only got
on
two
a big bore
revolvers, and I love both of them.
So here I am talking about feeling good in the hand, and I got a North American Arms I carry in my front left pocket every day.
There's one right here I can't touch.
Good to
I
see
got one.
Dave out there.
I got one loaded with snake shot that I carry with me at work every day.
I bought one in '91, and I've carried it up until the last 3 or 4 years, every single day.
Good to see Dave.
Super Dave.
Yeah, he was. CW brought up bullseye shooting and shooting our revolver.
And Mr. Thorzak shows up. He's
Yeah,
bringing his ear.
yeah, shooting our pistols at 25 yards instead of 7. I
Gentlemen,
guess.
I'm going to bail out. Everybody have a great weekend.
Good night, Andy.
All right, Andy.
Thanks for being here, Andy.
I'll be over near you. I'll be over near you about 8 a.m. in the morning. I'll throw a couple of sinkers. See if you on the roof.
Okay.
Good night, Andy.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Andy, and good night, AR. Who's going to bed?
Thanks, CW. You shoot up toward Montauk.
We're not far from there at times. We don't go around the point because it gets nasty. But yeah. We get out there.
See, that's
Man,
not nice right there, Ricky. It's just not.
I was hoping y'all get into stripers this year.
Oh, I get straight off the shore. We caught
Send me
a
a bit.
couple last weekend.
Send me a video.
Sure.
I can live it vicariously. They used to get them down here, man. It, the run got messed up. It's starting to come back a little, but we get a run up.
My biggest is a 58 incher. The biggest in the boat, I think, was 63.
Yeah. See, we had a local lake that stocked them. Of course, they couldn't breed. And they produced some big ones, but we're starting to get a natural run up the Roanoke River. They knocked down a bunch of dams, and hopefully we'll get some big ones on the Outer Banks here for too long.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. We targeted them heavy a number of years ago, and then we really slacked off. We don't pursue them as hard. We used to fish all night for them, and we did some good numbers. One year, the smallest fish in the boat was 38 inches, striper.
And they readily take a fly, and that's what I like about them. They readily take a fly. You better have a 9 or 10 weight to play with them, but they readily take a fly.
We fished for them on Lake Cumberland, and all you had to do is watch for the gulls to come down and hit the water, and the gulls was feeding off the shad. So wherever the shad was, that's where the stripers were.
That's what we used to do on Lake Norman.
Yeah.
And then when it got
there could be any one of about a dozen different kinds of fish under that bait fish on the surface. So you never know what it is. It's crazy, but we're in the ocean. So
them stripers are sharks, man.
it could be tuna, it could be bluefish, could be stripers, could be fluke, which are flounder. Could be weak fish. It could be just a bunch of different fish.
Weak fish would be sea trout for anybody in the South.
We had a mackerel 2 weeks ago. Spanish,
really?
The blueback, chub mackerel, under bait. They were pushing bait. They were eating sand eels.
Holy
we threw everything, and nothing hit nothing until one guy caught one on a jig near the bottom, and we said, "Oh my goodness, this must be what it was." We could see the clouds of them on the fish finder, just couldn't tell what they were. They were mackerel.
I used to go
tasty.
Used to go speckled trout fishing, and then would get in those redfish. Man, I love catching those redfish.
Reds are a whole lot. They almost mirror stripers in a lot. size, what they eat, what you catch them on, how they fight, the body shape, all except for the mouth. They're really similar.
Yeah.
I love catfishing.
Tell it,
Well,
bro.
Ain't nothing
If,
like a big blue or a big shovel head.
There you go.
you love what guys are doing down here. The Blues have gotten, I think the North Carolina record is 103 pounds on a blue. But
Jeez.
those Blues, you know how they are. They just fight good. And we got shovel heads here now too.
Yeah, the flatheads they'll put it in their mouth and hold on to it. You'll never know you have them until you start throwing in.
They're a true predator. I've caught a flathead on a fly rod. I couldn't believe it. And he hooked it. He wanted that fly, and I yanked it. I didn't know what had it, and I went to set the hook, and I guess I pulled it out of his mouth. Well, he grabbed it again and said, "No, that's mine." And I said it. When I pulled him in, I was like, "Holy crap!" It was like an 8-pound flathead. We were at Lake Jordan, and staying in a hotel. We were on the job, but we towed a boat down there to fish Lake Jordan in the evening. And my boss said, "What are you going to do with that catfish?" I said, "Well, I'm going to take him back to the hotel room and scan him." He said, "Where are you going to scan him?" I said, "In the bathtub." He said, "God almighty, you redneck." That's exactly what I did too.
No, redneck would be skinning it on the bedside table.
Yeah.
Or any tree you can nail it to.
Exactly.
I didn't need no tree. I skinned him out and had water there and filleted him up and froze him in that little old freezer and took him home. That's good eating fish.
Yeah, it is.
What I was raised on, catfish and crappie.
Yeah.
The time I went to salt waters, my dad and his twin brother would go shrimping in the bay when it opened up.
Oh, listen, if I went out with CW, he'd laugh his butt off. You couldn't put enough. You'd have to stick 12 Dramamine stick-ons on my hind end just to get. I get seasick easy. It's unreal. And I can't imagine. I was watching the video of him, and they're fishing, and the waves going up and down the horizon. There wasn't no horizon. The horizon was the sea. And I was sitting there watching that video turning green.
I got a coworker that's a crappie fisherman. He don't even use a reel. He just uses a long limber rod. He'll flick it out there, and when they hit it, he pulls them back.
I sell those.
And
I sell those at my
he'll
shop.
catch
Kentucky.
He'll catch crappie huge.
That's all you need.
That's all you really need for crappie. Anyway, can we get back on gun subjects? When did we turn into a fishing show? I guess we all been. I ain't been fishing in way too long.
I'd say we're all outdoorsmen.
Yeah.
Well, I only have one Smith & Wesson, and it's a 36. No dash.
Tell us about it.
It actually belonged to the wife's grandfather. It sits in the safe. I've shot it a couple times.
What caliber
38.
was all?
I think that's the only one the 36 comes in, ain't it? Five
I
shot.
guess, yeah.
A little 5-shot snub nose. That's similar to the one that Andy had a picture of.
Yeah.
But this one's nickel plated.
Cool. Hey, James Pugh.
I got a Taurus clone of one. I don't know which one it is though. I'm not a Smith and Wesson guy, so
Well, if you got any questions about any of them, I got the book. I'll be glad to look it up for you.
Six, one of our range
when y'all
members.
start calling out all those numbers, Smith and Wesson, just like CW calling out numbers for Lyman moles. No clue.
Right.
Six,
I think Taurus Model 66 is the Smith & Wesson equivalent of a 586 or a 686. Walks, there ain't nothing wrong with fishing, buddy. Tommy Boy says that rod is called a tenkara. I probably didn't pronounce that right. But down here we call them cane poles.
cane pole, yeah.
Yep. That's what we always call these, and they were actually real cane
Yep.
poles.
Yep.
Six, one of our range members just picked up a matching set of Ruger Vaquero SAS models. Talk about pretty.
Glenn Davis is going to make me get my book out, ain't he? What
Yeah,
year?
there you go.
I've talked about it one too dang many times.
I'll show everybody my new book. I got a new book this week.
Oh,
I've got that book and I
Nice.
couldn't find it. This is the one I'm talking about.
I got it, and I go, okay, I'll sit down in the recliner and start reading it. I almost finished the preface before I fell asleep.
Glenn Davis, yes, sir. Wow, man, this book's got some gorgeous pictures. Smith Wesson and their lever action magazine pistol. Just what we were talking about earlier. Model 1.5. We'll have to talk about that and the Model 2 next. Well, probably go back to Colt.
CW just sent me a picture of matching Bird's Head grip 327s. They're nice.
Man, I didn't know this thing went back that far. Golly, guys. Woo. Second model Russian. Exquisite Plus is 10,000. Schofield's Model 3. Where am I going to get to the Model 19s? There's one for Kentucky Rimfire, the 22s.
19 will be a little bit, Jamie. from the Schofield. Got to remember, Smith and Wesson's been around for a while.
Yes, that's either 1854 or 1856. 32 hand ejector models.
Keep going.
Post-war.
Once you get to the Model 10, start slowing down.
357 Magnums.
Looks like Walks Fletcher's guessing 99, maybe.
That's what Chat GPT says.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so why am I looking it up?
Everybody.
Probably because Chat GPT doesn't know anything about guns.
As I said,
Huh?
Andrew Petty says Model 19 produced from 1955 to 1999.
Yeah,
actually, it's
99.
produced right now as a classic.
.44 Magnum pre-model 29.
You're getting there.
Nothing all wrong with that 686, Glenn Davis. I love that pistol.
I like a 44 Magnum. They're real good at killing chronographs.
Well, chronographs are known to be dangerous, Kyle.
It was open season.
Yeah. Yeah, it was charging. That's what I always say.
There I was.
There I was, out in the bush.
Yeah, here's a model 14. Quite a few of my friends have those. Model 17s. There's even a Model 16 in here.
Which blue book are you into? Which annual?
From my understanding, it's the newest one.
What's it got on the front of it?
I already showed you that.
Well, I wasn't here.
Well, you should have been looking.
I'm sorry. Well, you don't have the Stephen, however you pronounce his last name. Instead, blue book. But it's probably taken from that.
He was moving from the porch to the recliner, babe.
Oh,
The
yes, sir.
Model 19 is built on a frame that is slightly larger than a standard K-frame, and the yoke area, produced circa 1955 to 1999. And it's a 357 Magnum 38 Special.
Can I tell y'all, we had a local chief of police that was going home and he didn't see much street work or hadn't in a while. And he had a car in front of him acting funky. This was back in the late 70s, and he pulled him over. And in the process of getting their license, running their tag and all that, the guy pulled a gun on him and shot him in the shoulder. And of course, he spun around and retreated to the rear of the car and fell down as the car sped off. And he drew his pistol and switched it to his left hand and proceeded to put 6 shots in the back windshield of that retreating car, fastly retreating car. That was something else, that he put 6 shots. He hit one of the guys. It wasn't fatal, but he hit one of the guys, and he put 6 shots in that back windshield. I thought, well, that tells you something about the 357, and that tells you something about the pointability of that revolver. That he could do that weekended. That's a popular story here in this county. I wasn't there. I was a little young. So
Well, I'll say this about that. Y'all need to try not to get me in that book because I'll forget what I'm doing and get reading something.
next thing you know, our verse of the week will be, and the No Dash Model 19 was bequeathed by the Lord.
Jamie, that's the
Oh,
one
Lord.
that we got.
Oh, let me blow that up. Oh, yeah. There's some fine guns right there, man. I mean, they
Yeah.
really are.
Looking at the size of that, I guarantee you, that takes at least 2 hands to shoot that thing. It's bigger than the upper part of your body.
That's called special effects, hillbilly.
Yep.
Cylinder's
That's
big as
super
his
nice
head.
gun.
My hand. See if it's my hand.
Yeah. Thorzak said lots and lots of stories down south. We got plenty of them. V669. That's great to know, Thorzak. Very great to know. Papa's Place is here. The crowns are just to let you know who's active in the side chat. And Mr. Pollard's out there too. What's going on, Mr. Pollard?
JP.
That's a nice one too. That's what yours is, ain't it? 6 at 36, model 36. Glenn Davis gave me a question. It was made from 1955 to 1999 with a special run of 213 of them being made for, I think it was the Republic of South Africa, chambered in 38 special in the year 2000. So as far as I know, that was the last Model 19s made until they started offering them in the Classic series, which is out there now.
Yep.
We understand, James. Friday's a busy night for a lot of folks. No, it's not a custom order, Glenn. It's their classic line. You'll see them come out with different models at different times. It's kind of like a limited production run. And when
They're not easy to get.
No, they're not.
Not easy to get is French for expensive.
And when
There's
you can
that,
find
too.
them, you're gonna have to pay for them. I guess is the point.
Oh, Jamie, there's a gun show coming up.
The best thing to do if you want a classic is if you're friends with your local FFL, you just tell him, look, I want one of these. and I'm gonna bring you some money along, and just order it when you can, when it's available. Just keep a check on it, and that's the way you get one.
So we got a few minutes for the verse of the week. Let's talk about this. Kyle brought up the fact of a gun show. We'll go through the panel. What are your thoughts on gun shows? Are they still worth going to?
Do you know what paper you wrote down?
Are they overpriced? The stuff I see is overpriced. I can do better at my local gun store.
They're
As far
definitely
as buying guns. There's always this possibility that you're going to see something there that you can't find anywhere else. Go ahead, Kentucky.
That's what I was going to say. They're overpriced, but sometimes you do find something there, you know.
There's
There
a
for the
gun show.
longest time. There for the longest time, I was using them to find gunpowder and stuff like that when everything was dried up. I mean, you'd have to get there right when the doors open because they'd be sold out within an hour. But when you couldn't find gunpowder and all that, that was always a pretty good spot. So there's that. But you still got to pay $20 to get in the door.
The shows that I'm seeing around here these days, you might have 8 to 10 tables of guns and then 30 tables of junk.
Pickles, jerky, jewelry.
Yeah.
Coins.
Tasers. But most of what our gun shows around here are run by C&E, and it's mostly black guns, and there's not a lot of wood and blued steel there. I used to go to a gun show. I'd buy 1 to 2 battle packs of 308 South African ammo. Every time a gun show came around, until I built up, where am I going to put all this crap? And that was good ammo back in the day. They don't have that nowadays. Back in that corner, they've got jerky and, like you say, tasers and jewelry and stuff like that. I haven't been to a gun show, guys. See, I've been in FFL for 11 years. I ain't been to a gun show in 12. And there's no real good ones around here.
You ain't been in 12 years. It's changed a lot, I imagine.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Not
hadn't
from
gone
what
in a
everybody
long
says.
I hadn't gone in a long time, and I went, and it's like everything was nothing but black guns. It's like,
Yeah.
well, good thing when I
Yeah,
came.
that started a while back.
And so I laid off a little while and started going back, and it seems like they're starting to bring back the other stuff now. But there's a gun show every weekend within an hour of me.
Wow.
Yeah. Most of the
Not
guys
here.
come in the shop with stamps on their hand, and I'll say, "Oh, you boys been to the gun show? Find any deals?" And they just laugh.
Sometimes
Well,
you
that's
can. Sometimes you don't.
That's the gun
a good
store's
thing.
favorite. The gun store's favorite time around here, because after they leave the show where they didn't find nothing, they're gonna stop at 2 or 3 gun stores on their way home.
Right.
You got the big
they
ones
still-
that revolve around Houston area. Same people, same guns usually. But when you start going out, like over toward College Station or somewhere else, a little farther out in the country, you see some better guns then.
Yeah, at least around this area, there are still a few good gun shows. Some stuff's definitely overpriced, and then some you go to, there's 60% crafts, which I think they really, I know they're just wanting to sell the booth space, but, I mean, come on. That's just kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. But there is a few good ones around, and every now and then you can find, a unicorn deal. I've found those, at gun shows. Probably some of the better deals I've ever found has been at gun shows, and and it's not been
I'm sitting there
that
thinking,
long ago. And do what?
I know what the profit is on a gun, and when I hear that gun shows they're charging anywhere from $50 to $80 for a table, and you got 4, 5, 6 tables. Do you know how many guns you have to sell to make a profit?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
only one if you charge the right price.
You better be grilling burgers at the end of that thing, because you ain't gonna make no profit. Just so y'all know, a little insider secret for any listener out there, especially for the guy that goes, "Is this the least you'll take for it?" Gun stores generally make about 10 to 11% on a new firearm, and that margin sucks. You can't leave the lights on for that. So,
yep,
you make your money on other stuff.
Yeah. We ain't heard from Bama Dad or Mark. Y'all go ahead.
Bama Dad, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mark.
Okay. We do have the state farm show complex right here in Harrisburg, which is nice. And we've got a good gun show every 4 months, 6 months or so. And they run them, it's the C&E. They run them Saturday and Sunday. And I just don't even bother going on Saturday because it's too crowded and everything's top price. I go Sunday. I usually go at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it ends at 4.
Yeah, when they're packing up.
Yep, I get my best deals, especially on reloading stuff.
They don't want to carry your stuff home.
Right. I take a pocket full of cash, and I try to be nice. I don't want to steal stuff, but if there's a bag of brass and they got $40 on it, I'm offering them 20, and I'll go as high as 25. If not, I just walk away. No problem. I have had good luck getting unique firearms that way. Going on Sunday, finding something that nobody else wants. That's how I got both of my 32 H&Rs. The other place that's a good gun show is out in Lebanon County. They have a sort of state fair kind of place, and it's a smaller show. Same thing, go on a Sunday, get the better deals. But I do best in my local shops. In fact, a couple of them know me. I got a nice text last week from one of my buddies down at the local shop. He said, "There's a gun just came in an hour ago. You're right up your alley." It was a 3-screw Ruger Blackhawk 357. And I said, I'm trying to really behave myself here at the end of summer. I said, the killer, is it a transfer bar conversion? He said, "Yeah, unfortunately." I said, "If it wasn't, I'd have been right there just to go ahead and get it." But yeah, still love my local shops. Still want to give them business. And last 2 or 3 hours on a gun show, that's my best bet.
Me and Jamie have found some deals every now and then, but most of the time it's just, give them whatever money and walk around and go, "Well, I don't see nothing."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Bama Dad, you got a thought?
No, it's about the same here. I haven't been to one probably in 4 years. Got several guys here that I know. If I'm going to buy from local, I'll buy from them. Yeah, it's a little bit more than I would pay for online, but trying to stick it to me. They're trying to make this, and that's about it. and it's usually pretty competitive.
venues in the state of Georgia, and drove by there on my way home. Took an alternate route home from work.
Exaggeration. It's more like 500.
I'd like to go to though is that big
We
one.
didn't get a link. I'll fix that. And
Well, I just figured that's what happens when you play hooky so many times. You just don't get.
I don't know about all that, man.
I hope everybody has a blessed week. I'll see you.
All right, man. Hopefully we'll see you over there after a while.
Yeah.
We'll see you, brother.
See y'all.
Bye. Before we get into the verse of the week, and this is a relatively short one tonight, I want to address Service Venator's comment here. What frustrates me with the gun shows is that vendors just will not give you anything on a used gun, even when asking well below the market price. Okay. That's been one of my gripes, even dealing with my local gun store service. And what he told me is that, remember what Rebel said earlier, their markup is only 10 to 11%. They can't afford to give you what you really need for your used gun or what it's worth, not even close. So the best thing for you to do there is sell your gun to somebody else and then take that money and buy what you want. That's I've talked to several gun store owners and they all tell me the same thing.
It's just like you're watching the Pawn Star show. It's like, I got to make a profit too, you know?
Yeah. So, let's get into our verse of the week. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. We've been going through the 10 Commandments in the Old Testament. Tonight we're up to number 3. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 7 says, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain." All of these guys on our panel know we don't do that here. We just don't take the Lord's name in vain. Let me read y'all a note from John MacArthur, if y'all know who he is. He says on that one, to use God's name in vain in such a way as to bring disrepute upon his character or deeds was to irrelevantly misuse his name. To fail to perform an oath in which his name has been legitimately uttered was to call into question his existence, since the guilty party evidently had no further thought of the God whose name he had used to improve his integrity. For the believer in the church age, however, the use of the name of God is not a needed verification of his intentions and trustworthiness, since his life is to exhibit truth on all occasions, with his yes meaning yes and his no meaning no. Matthew 5:37 and James 5:12. That note makes me think of a phrase that all of us have used or at some point in our life, and we'll say, "I swear to God," like that. Well, do we have to say this? Absolutely not. We don't. I love MacArthur's thought there that if we swear by the name of God and then don't follow through, you deny God's existence. And worse, you just used his name to improve your integrity, quote unquote, which you now have totally destroyed. But for God's people in today's world, our life should be a reflection of him. There should be no reason for you to use God's name. The world around you should know that your yes is yes and your no is no. Our lives should glorify him. We got some more notes from David Guzik. he says, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." There are at least 3 ways this command is commonly disobeyed. Number 1, profanity, using the name of God in blasphemy and cursing. Number 2, frivolity, using the name of God in a superficial, stupid way. And hypocrisy, 3rd, claiming the name of God but acting in a way that disgraces him. So Jesus communicated the idea of this command in the disciples' prayer, which he taught us to have a regard for the holiness of God's name when he taught us to pray, "Hallowed be thy name," in Matthew 6:9. That part there where it says, "For the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain." The strength of this command has led to strange tradition among Jewish people. Some go to extreme measures to avoid violating this command, refusing to even write out the word God in fear that the paper might be destroyed and the name of God be written in vain. I want to say that number 1, using the Lord name of God in blasphemy and cursing will not be tolerated here. Frivolity, that's using the name of God in a superficial or stupid way. The first thing that pops in my mind is OMG. People say that all the time, and I hate it. And so many people do it. And if we're not vigilant and we're hanging around people that are doing that, the next thing you know, that's what we're doing too. And hypocrisy there, claiming the name of God but acting in a way that disgraces him. We're not talking about occasional and rare slip-ups here. What we're talking about is a lifestyle of sin. One of my past pastors used to say, premeditated, habitual sin. And that last note there, I object to Dr. Guzik's use of the word strange there. Any attempt to keep, let me read that again. It says, the strength of this command has led to strange traditions among Jewish people. I object to the word strange there. Any attempt to keep God and his name hallowed, as Jesus said earlier, or revered, holy, feared, awed, and respected is by no means strange in my mind and in my heart. I've seen Jewish writers leave out the O when writing out the word God, replacing it with an underscore. Some Jewish people won't pronounce his name at all. And there's times in Old Testament writings where he is described rather than using his name. The one that pops into my mind is he who lives between the cherubim. And sometimes I wish the church, capital C Universal, in today's world was more reverent than we really are. And I'm one of the world's worst at not living the way I should. We all slip up on occasions, but it's like I said, that culture of making wrong choices and sinful ways is what I believe that Dr. Guzik is talking about there. Any questions or comments?
No, it's pretty much cut and dry.
I've got a Bible that a guy from Israel signed and wrote me a little note in. And he put the Lord your God is one. And where he wrote God, instead of an O, he put a diamond shape in it. And I asked him, he said, well, I'm just going to leave that to you to find out why I did that. It took me a while to find it because back then there was no internet, but it was simply out of reverence to the name of God. That what you're talking about, how the Jews they wouldn't write it. because they felt like it was taking it in vain.
Right.
And
Or could be taken in vain.
yeah, it's always stood out to me for that. And you know, I think one of the biggest things too is I'm not going to sit here and act pious and say I haven't ever used the Lord's name wrong. I've in fits of anger or anything like that. I've taken the Lord's name in vain. But what really gets is the feeling in my heart when I've done it. I've never done it and not felt terrible for doing it.
Well, that's
It's when you get to the point when it becomes so easy to you that you don't have any fear or reverence for God. That's where you realize you've got a problem. That's where you need to think about, why does that not matter to me?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't matter to you, the real big problem is this: are you His?
If you are, you will be convicted when that stuff happens, like you were describing.
Absolutely. The Spirit of God in you will not allow you to use the Lord's name in vain and not be immediately
Chastised.
Feel guilty about it. I can't personally, but that's just me. You know, I know in our society today, nobody thinks much about what they say, whether it's foul. I mean, the things that we're seeing and hearing today and what they're even teaching in our schools, there's no reverence for God in this country anymore. It's just it's a handful of people that have a reverence for God.
I think there is, but I just don't think it's as common as it used to be. Service Venator has a good question here. Is this referring to God as a name, or are we referring to Yahweh or Jehovah? I think Yahweh is a Jewish name for God. And some I've heard some of my Jewish friends not even pronounce Yahweh. I think they'll say Yah for God, and I think that's very cool. Once you get past to the heart of, when you get past the superficial ways of the world and actually understand what they're doing there and their understand their heart, I think that's an amazing thing. I think Jehovah is a name for God, but I think God is most commonly known as God, especially in our culture. Anything else?
I do my very best to behave here on the program, but I grew up, and I'm not going to talk bad about my father. He was a good man, but he cussed like a sailor because he had been a sailor. He's in the Navy, and even later on in life, I looked up. I wanted to know what the H was in Jesus' middle name. So I do my best. I try to behave here on the show and out in public, and as a teacher, I run the straight and narrow in my classroom. I don't cuss. I don't do anything that would be perceived as inappropriate.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
I try.
Appreciate it. Because there's not a lot of people left in the education industry that will make that stand.
Well, I'm pretty darn old school as a teacher, and there are some that they don't necessarily like that, but tough. They can kiss it. I got a couple more years in me, and we'll do what we can.
I appreciate there's not many good teachers like that out there anymore. And You know, I grew up in a time we had a morning devotional every morning over the public address system in high school, and
The good old days.
everything, and that was in a public school. So, but now they don't do that.
Nope.
My kids didn't grow up with that. So we had it, we had it at home, and we carried our kids to church. And of course, you know how that goes. They all have to make up their own decisions too.
You want to. There's a guy I know, and I love him dearly. He was a chaplain in the Navy, and you can imagine what his mouth is like. One of the most reverent men I've known in my life. One of the most God-fearing, God-loving people that I've ever known, but he still talks like a sailor. And Lord love him. I mean, I do. I love him like a brother. But yeah, man, when I was young and I wasn't trying to live right, I'm ashamed of the way my mouth sounded. But when I came back to the Lord when I was 40 years old, and I started getting in my Bible, started reading and all this kind of stuff, two things burned me up, and that was F-bombs and taking the Lord's name in vain.
Those two.
That would that'd get me going real quick. Anyways,
I had a guy tell me one time, it says anybody that can't complete a sentence without an F word, he's an idiot. I mean, that's basically what he's just showing his ignorance. But
that's what a lot of people don't understand is the use of vulgarities like that is a sign of ignorance. You're not able to
express yourself
without the use of that stuff.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't say I don't do it, but I try my best to keep it down.
Yeah.
And I walk away. If I'm in a group of people and it starts going on, I'll walk away. And you know, I've had friends say, "What are you walking away for? Why do you sit there talking? You just walked away." Like, I asked, I said, "You know why I walked away? You know exactly why I walked away. You know what was coming out of your mouths, and you know I don't take part in that." And so I was being respectful. I wasn't going to correct you. I just walked away. And I said, that doesn't mean I don't like you. I don't want to be your friend or anything like that. But man, you need to clean up your mouth. and I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, if I get hurt, if I fall down the steps or I smash my finger in a car door, what's going to come out of my mouth is probably not going to be real pretty. But one thing it's not going to be is the Lord's name in vain.
It might be a "Oh Lord, have mercy." That's a different thing. That's not that's an actual prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God help me.
Anyway, we need to start going through the room. We need to clear the deck for. Let's talk about bench rest. Good to see Chad Kelly out there. Glad you made it. Yeah, we'll be praying about that service. That's a thing.
Service, start a swear jar just for that. And then at the end of the month, whatever's in that swear jar, give it to somebody that needs it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 18 out there still, and we want to thank all y'all for hanging with us this long. So, with that, I'll start us out. We'll clear out as quickly as we can.
Who?
You?
Oh, I want to thank everybody in the side chat for putting up with us and being here. It's good to see everybody, as it is every Friday. I'm thankful that I was invited and can be here in a timely manner and all that. I ain't got a whole lot coming up. Just working like crazy and praying for rain. That's about all we're doing. That's it from here.
Well, thanks for being here, brother. Mama, Dad, you want to go next?
I just want to thank you for inviting me and letting me come sit around and take in some wisdom on things that I'm not as sharp on as you guys are. Got some, I don't really have anything big coming up. You've heard me talk about it. I've been engrossed in rebuilding an antique drill press, and I got to get that finished where I can start on my rifle. So other than that, that's it.
Thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you. Who's next over there?
Guess it's me.
Art, go for it, brother.
Well, thank you for having me. Glad I could be here. Got here still late, but a little bit earlier than I have been. Just been a good week here. My wife and son have been out doing a little bit of traveling. They got back today, so I was real happy to see them and glad their travel were safe. So thanks for letting me be part of the panel. Good to see everybody. Great to see everybody out there in the side chat. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Good and safe. Get out there and get some shooting if you can. We'll see you next week.
Amen, brother. Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rebel, what you got coming up?
Well, hopefully I get that 20 gauge press mounted where it's usable, and probably means I'm gonna have to remove something, but we'll just see how that goes. The cough is getting better every week. It's been a slow process. Knee still messed up. Ain't been to an ortho yet, but I will get to one. As far as cussing goes, the more pain I'm in at that particular time, the rougher it gets. And I do not suggest any man preach to me once a manhole cover has fell on my big toe, okay, and tell me what I'm saying is wrong and against the Lord. I know that. I've got a conscience, all right, but I'm in great pain, and I'll ask for forgiveness later on my own time. But I've been guilty of, like Bama Dad said, hurt myself, hit myself with a hammer, whatever, and some real creative stuff come out of my mouth. And I can get creative with just regular, good old friendly cussing anytime. But boy, when I let the real stuff fly, I'm either super mad or in a lot of pain. And that doesn't excuse anything. But that's between me and the Lord. And thank God he's got a lot of patience. He's got a lot of patience, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress. We all are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 6. Thanks for being here, Rebel.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, 6.
All right. Well, I got some reloading to do. I've got everything ready to load 1,000 rounds of 38. So I'm going to be doing that this week. I might go to the range Sunday. Got a guy wants to go with me, so might get up and do that. Other than that, just working. I'm back on some long hours right now, taking the overtime while I can get it. So that's about all I got.
Well, thanks for being here, all you guys. We appreciate y'all. Rebel bugged out because of that cough's bothering him. We just want to thank all y'all for being here. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.